James Sinclair, 34-year-old multimillionaire, big mouth, on social media more than myself. Okay, tell you what, you're more than Trump. Anyway, you said recently that you think most people think that money's more important than progressing the staff. What did you...
Yeah, so what I mean by that is when you look at human beings, money is, someone gets a bonus, for example, they're going to be happy about it. Maybe they get a pay rise, they're going to be happy about it. That will only keep them motivated for so long. When it comes to motivation, if you want to motivate people, you've got to educate people. What people want is progression. If you think about doing the same year at school on repeat, say you've got to do, year 10 for 10 years in a row, your motivation isn't going to be great. What people want to do is they want to get to year 11, they want to get to college, they want to get to university. And people that know what their progression looks like are the people that stay motivated because they're educated through that progression and they know what's going to happen in the end. They can see, look, this is the end result of where I'm going to be. So successful people through education that start education say, I want to be a vet, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a barrister. They can actually go through and say, they know what they're progressing towards. The harsh reality is that most people don't know what they're progressing towards. And it's the responsibility of companies to tell them what progress looks like within their organisation.
Because in Australia, where estate agents are put on pedestals, where they charge 400% more than UK estate agents, there's a huge conference where thousands of estate agents go to it, and every single one of them the tickets are paid for by the frontline guys. And we're talking about the boys and girls on the front line. You say that to a UK estate agent, and they'll be unheard of paying for their own tickets. No one pays for their own training. Is it the boss's
wrong.
Responsibility?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not training, you don't have to do that style of training, but if you're not training your team, you're not gaining from your team. Training and team development has to be a continual thing.
Isn't it the responsibility, though, because we don't live in a communist society, isn't it the responsibility of the staff member to train themselves?
No. But, both is the answer. The company should be doing it, and the individual
accountability.
Yeah, the individual that's like putting their efforts into reading books. Listening to Audible, even watching great YouTube videos. YouTube's got so many great resources, and putting themselves out there to, continually professional develop themselves. This is my advice to estate agents. Any employee that puts in 10% more effort will get recognised, and they will be the ones that lead through the team. I was telling this story only the other day. My uncle used to work for Lloyd's of London at a very young age. He died when he was 45. He had a heart attack, very tragic. But he became a very senior underwriter in Lloyd's of London for insurance from a very young age. His nephew went into the insurance game, and I remember him telling him a great piece of advice. He said, look, if you want to get on, and you want to be a leader. He's now 27, this kid. He's now a senior underwriter in London at 27 years old. It's like unheard of. He's the youngest in London. He's about to get the top job. He said to him, look, here's what you need to do. You need to go in an hour earlier. You need to go an hour later. Make sure you tell your superiors that you're doing your own training. Is there any books that you should recommend that I should be reading, etc., etc. And always wear a tie. Everyone's going to stop wearing a tie in the city. You be the one that stands out. You be that purple cow, if you like, in that organisation. And, in 7 short years, he's got to the top of the tree.
But that sounds like hard work and patience, something which an awful lot of people don't have.
No, but he did. And it's not about the difference between good and great, in my opinion, and he has become into that great situation. He's just putting 10% more effort in. And in that 7 short year period, 7 years is nothing. He's gone to the top of the tree.
And that's the advice you would give to estate agents or any employee: go in earlier, work harder, go in slightly later, look smart, and ask, because that's unheard of. I never heard of an employee asking an employer, "What should I do to get better?" I never heard that.
But that they will be, that employer will be so attracted to that person. They'll be the ones that will get the promotion, and this is, history is littered with stories like this. The person that puts in just 10% more effort always is the one that gets the golden goose.
Do you think that millennials, and I'm making a sweeping statement here because there are some, do you think millennials like hard work? Because if you ask a lot of baby boomers, they think they're all, I know you're on the cusp of being a millennial, but do you think millennials are lazy, or do you think that's just baby boomers just reminiscing about the old times when they were down the pit?
No, I think I've had older people that I think that are lazy that work for me. I've had younger people that are lazy that work for me. I think it's all down to the individual. I do not buy that young people don't work as hard. I've met some incredibly young entrepreneurs that are knocking the socks off of older people. It's all down to the individual. I'm not ageist, sexist, racist in any of those stereotypes.
And what of those people that have impressed you of the younger generation got that the others haven't?
You know what? I do think there is some motivational DNA in some people over others. And then if someone has that base talent, that motivational DNA based talent, and then puts effort into, I'm thinking of a book I've just read called Bounce, put purposeful practice into that base talent, they can become truly great.
Thank you.